Welcome to our weekly podcast between JJ, me, Colin, and Mr. John Williams, germaphobe, or
whatever his name is.
You know,
Nobody knows.
I don't know.
Nobody knows his name, honestly.
So
I don't even think he knows his name.
We're gonna start off.
Just call me Carlos for today.
Carlos.
All right, Carlos.
You seem like a Carlos.
Yeah, you look like a Carlos.
Well, we're gonna start off this week with, or this podcast with our first topic is gonna be, how come every video game that gets made into a movie is not doing too well?
That's not.
Well,
they're starting to do a better job now.
Yeah, they're starting to do a better job. So one of the reasons
you don't have you bold directing shit anymore.
Yeah, House of Dead. That movie is so shitty. I saw it on Sci-Fi.
He made Blood Rain and stuff too.
You know it's. Oh, he did.
Yeah, he made all those.
Blood Rain?
Yeah, the vampire movie.
That was so fucking shitty. It's so funny. It's so shitty. It's so funny. Because I remember watching House of the Dead on Sci-Fi. I think it was a year right after it came out.
Oh my god, that's sad.
It came on Sci-Fi. I was like, "How's it there?" Like the fucking arcade game. And I was like watching it. I was like,
the game was fun.
No wonder it fucking went to Sci-Fi. It didn't even go to DVD. Or it probably did went to DVD.
Probably went straight to DVD.
Went straight to DVD.
Is it straight to DVD?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Then Sci-Fi got hold of it. One of the reason why it got me into the topic is I just recently saw that they're making a new Hitman movie, Agent 47. So I thought that was pretty interesting because it's supposed to be a lot better than the first shitty one. Oh, I didn't really think it was that shitty. It was
I don't even think I've seen that one.
Never seen it?
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Hitman movies.
Is there more than one?
Hitman games.
No, there's just
Timothy Oliphant is
Yeah.
Hitman. I've never seen it. Okay, but I would think that would be a good movie because it's Timothy Oliphant.
It wasn't really that bad. I mean, of course, it's not up to standard. A lot of people have.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good, action flick. You had titties. You
can't not have titties.
Yeah, the chick was pretty hot.
For an action movie.
Yeah, it was good for an action movie.
Unless you're G.I. Joe and you just.
It's not the Born Identity.
Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh
Let's get raw. One of the best.
That is one of the best. Vanilla Ice? Are you kidding me?
What are y'all talking about? I don't even know what's going on.
That's one of the better action movies that came out recently.
And like Vanilla Ice stepped in, he was like, "Go Ninja, go!" You never seen that?
I don't want to see TMZ.
That's rude.
You're rude.
It's better than the Michael Bay one, but.
Oh, the originals, dude!
Yeah.
I love the originals. I thought you were talking about the new one.
That counts as a video game.
I don't want anything to do with the
game.
original one.
But
original one. Anyways,
they made a new one. They're gonna reboot it.
Okay.
It looks promising, I guess. If you guys go watch the trailer, it looks promising.
I'm gonna check it out.
I really didn't have a problem with the first one originally. It just, it was all right. So one of the things I want to know is, do you think like a lot of production companies are just not taking video game? They just want to make a quick buck out of it. I mean, you can see that with they did do that with a lot of comic book movies in the early years.
Yeah,
like the Spider-Man,
and stuff.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't think people take. I don't think people take games seriously yet. Like you said, I just.
Do you think a lot of they think the audience just will see that?
Well,
one of the things I think is that see the title. Oh, it's a Hitman movie.
So I mean, I think it's a good point. I don't know about Hitman because Hitman appeals to like a certain audience. But you do have Warcraft coming out next year, or this year, I think, actually.
Yeah.
And Warcraft is high production value. They're putting a lot of work into it. They're doing a lot with Warcraft. They have big actors for it, like really good, solid actors.
Like who?
There's a full list. Like, there's tons of people. Give me 1 second.
Well, while you're looking up the actors, my thing about like video game movies is I find that it'll be harder for people to enjoy a video game movie as much as like a video game because you're not feeling as invested in the character as you would if you were just playing as this person that you're in control of your actions or what he does.
Comes out
You're
next.
obviously not in control when you're watching a movie.
Comes out March of next year. The guy who's making it did Moon, which is a really good film. Source Code, which is a decent film, is pretty good. But they got a big name director for it. I mean, they went all out. How can I not click on this? But you have Dominique Cooper, you have Ben Foster, Robert Kaczynski.
Oh, Ben Foster?
Yeah, you have big name actors for it. Like, they're putting a lot of effort into it.
He looks like
I can't.
in Warcraft.
I can't relate that to Hitman because, Warcraft is Warcraft. I mean, it's the biggest game almost of all time, biggest MMO of all time. I mean, you have bigger games like League of Legends, but that's neither here nor there. But I mean, when you have a game of that magnitude, the people are going to put a lot of effort into it. Where Hitman is a big series, but it nowhere near grossed as much as that game did. So I can't really relate the two personally. I don't know how one would, because it's just like two different sides. But I think like with that case, I think they're starting to take video games more seriously as far as films go.
I mean, people are going to start running out of ideas pretty soon, and I think going with a video game direction would be not a bad idea.
Over 90% of movies nowadays are not even original. Like most movies nowadays aren't original. Like, look at the one that just won for the Academy, Birdman. That wasn't even original. That's not an original screenplay at all. That's something that they used from somebody else. They said, "Hey, can we use this?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, isn't it from a
play or something?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
I think it's a play, but I mean, as far as what German folks said, that you're not invested in it because you're not playing the character, which I get that idea. Because Hitman, the reason why Hitman was so good is because because the gameplay, how you have to figure out different ways to take a target out. There's something that doesn't really give you that many clues. But I feel like if you put like a game with a really good storyline, and maybe it doesn't exactly have to follow the whole storyline and branch off of it and have some original ideas, don't fucking brutally kill it with just dumbass shit like I can't think of one right now. Like House of the Dead.
That was just a horrible director that did that. Yeah,
he just, put some a little bit of original. Because one of the games one of the movie I didn't think it was that bad. Was a Final Fantasy movie. It wasn't horrible.
Oh, Spirits Within. That's a really good movie. I actually like that.
It wasn't that bad. It was nothing like Final Fantasy. They made their own way towards it. I think have people kind of ease into that.
I actually really like that film.
Yeah.
I'd say the Final Fantasy, like the idea of making a movie out of that, to be quite a tough cookie.
Yeah.
Cookie?
Because that's definitely like an RPG right there.
I feel like something like Halo. Because they've been talking about making a movie about it.
Well, District 9 was Halo.
District
9 was Halo. The guy originally made the Halo little thing, like the Halo 15-minute short that was made quite a long time ago. Yeah, like, what was it, like 8-9 years ago? And that short, he got the production for it, like he got the money for the Halo movie, and then at the last minute they changed it to District 9. District 9 was...
Which was still a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good movie.
What is that sequel that's the District 9?
It's not really a sequel. It's just another movie by that same guy.
It's in the same universe?
Elysium you talking about?
No. It's the Choppy. Yeah, that one. The robot movie.
Oh, that's supposed to be...
it's by the same guy. It's not really a sequel.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. It wasn't... yeah. He's supposed to direct Alien next.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, a new
That's
Alien
cool.
franchise. I think, but let's just put that aside. That if you maybe made a Halo movie or not Halo, we'll scratch that off. BioShock, because I feel like that
would be really cool.
Yeah.
But the game's already a movie, so that would be kind of weird.
But if you could do like a prequel to it or something like that,
I guess. Isn't BioShock Infinite a prequel or some shit?
Ooh, you gotta play it. You
no.
gotta play it. You gotta play it. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but you gotta play it.
I gotta play them all, honestly.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of those. I'm scared shitless of Bioshock.
Yeah,
I'm so scared of Bioshock.
You bought the... Infinite's nowhere near as scary as the first one.
I know that. I know it's more of an action game.
It's still a good game, but my
It's a
point
beautiful
is there are so many games with a really good story or really good idea to base off of that you can either make a sequel or prequel out of it. That
Yeah, I'm just nitpicking more than anything.
I think one of the what do you think one of the directors that will be good to direct a video game movie?
The guy that's directing this Warcraft movie, I think he's perfect.
Do you think maybe like Josh Whedon, who's directing Marvel?
No, I don't think so. No, I think that's like a different take. He has like a style to him. The guy that directed the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the guy that did 500 Days of Summer, I think he would be pretty cool because you would show the intimate nature behind it.
I didn't really expect that from the guy from directing.
No, I mean he did a really good job.
Yeah. And he did a really good job of like
Still haven't seen Spider-Man 2.
It's a great film.
A lot of people haven't seen it. I don't know why, but
it didn't gross as much as it should have.
Yeah.
It deserved way better than what it got, but can't do anything about it.
What about like a game that you want to see on the big screen?
John, do you have one?
Personally, I just think it's like I said, it's tough to make a game.
But is there like
a movie?
Is there like a video game you would like to see on the big screen though?
That you think it would be good for the big screen? You don't have to say.
A game that I think would be good for the big screen.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be kind of hard. I'd say Bioshock would be good for the big screen. I kind of agree with you guys on that.
You have another one?
One game that I've been playing recently that kind of reminds me of like that could be like a movie game is Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare.
Which is pretty good, honestly.
I guess. I don't really count that one. Kevin Spacey's already in that, so that counts.
Yeah, that counts.
It's already done.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey plays the billionaire Kevin Spacey. That's the only character you usually.
You know,
see
one
us
I
play.
really think. Have you played Heavy Rain?
Yeah.
I feel
that
like
was a movie. Like that was a movie
right,
game.
but it's a good idea to base off of, and you can maybe make your own twist. Like,
I'd like to see more games like that.
Yeah, but you can maybe make a twist out of it, and actually kind of I wouldn't say have the exact same character, but like the concept of the
same universe.
Yeah, but then it would end up like Butterfly Effect, actually, if you think about it. But I still think that would be pretty cool to base a game off of Heavy Rain.
That would be pretty cool, yeah. I mean, they're basically doing the one that I want, and that's Warcraft. I'm not off the top of my head, I can't think of another one that I want, because I grew up with Warcraft.
Like Warcraft 1 through 3, and not like World of Warcraft, right?
Yeah, it actually comes after, if I remember. No, it comes before when Warcraft 1 kind of started. It kind of coincides with the new Warcraft expansion. It kind of fits into place with that. But that's because it's the backstory. It's just the story before that. That's all it really is.
The Last of Us has like a lot of people.
You know, what's her face? Ellen Page. That isn't Ellen Page in The Last of Us.
Yeah, I know.
She got really pissed about that.
Yeah, because everybody thought that was Ellen Page.
Yeah.
And then she actually did a game from the same studio, or not the same studio. That was from the same studio as Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
It's like I forgot what it is. But
I thought that was
What was that one called?
She's like
Lost Souls or something.
Yeah, she's like the same. It's the same kind of thing like The Sixth Sense. She can see ghosts and shit. She gets naked.
Oh, you know what?
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Metal Gear Solid as a movie.
That's
not a
good
bad
movie.
choice. I kind of hate you right now.
Yeah, that's actually a really good choice.
You picked good, you fuck.
What would the story be?
So I grew up with Warcraft. Warcraft's definitely one I would want to see. I can't try to think of another one that I would really want to.
I would say The Last of Us.
I'm thinking of something that I played since I was like a child. Maybe like a Zelda movie. I know they're actually making a live action series. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, for Netflix.
That's pretty cool. I think that's actually pretty cool.
I don't know how they're gonna fit
Tycoon,
that. That's
the movie.
I don't know how they're gonna fit that into it. Because that's another thing that's a little bit sketchy too. Like I don't know with Zelda, like because they don't, because with Zelda, there's only every game that you play is a whole different Zelda, or not Zelda, Link.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess you could base off your own adventure. It just doesn't capture it like the game would. So I don't know if that...
I'm trying to think of one that I would really like to see.
But I would still like to see it.
That, yeah, I think it would be pretty cool, honestly. I know there's one that fuck, it's going to bother me now, man.
Yeah, it's always hard to think of something like that up on the spot.
Because I'm thinking of one that I, like, grew up with, and Warcraft kind of really fits that for me. So I can't think off the top of my head anything else. Because Brian... never mind, he's not here. It doesn't matter. Anyways, people that have known me for a long time knew I grew up with Warcraft. And I love it to death. Everything about it. StarCraft, I think, would be interesting. I know it's the same Blizzard-style shit, but I like StarCraft. And StarCraft feels like a movie when you play it.
Yeah, that could have a really good background story into it. Go dig deeper into the game itself.
And people like science fiction more nowadays, it seems.
Yeah.
They really like that type of stuff. I'm thinking of, I feel like the first one that came to mind for some reason was GoldenEye, but that's actually a movie game. So I want to. It's gonna bother me. Do you have one? You're like, is Hitman yours?
I have another one. Well, there actually is making a movie out of it. It's Assassin's Creed. That's annoying. The main actor is actually Michael Fassbender.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, they're putting some effort into that.
That's what I heard. That's what the rumor is, that they're going to put Michael Fassbender at it. So they could... I don't know how the story is going to fucking end, because they're going to keep milking the shit out of that game. So I don't know
They're going to release a game every 6 months. Keep that in mind.
I don't know how that game is going to fucking...
retarded.
So I don't know how that game is going to fucking end and how they're going to fit their story into it. Maybe just another version of Assassin's Creed with the same kind of idea into it, which could be bad.
They're going to go back to Ezio. Obviously.
I feel like they're going to make a brand new character, but has the same kind of concept when the guy is going back to his ancestor roots, and Michael Fassbender is, the main guy. And hopefully they just, probably just start making sequels out of that too if it does well.
Warcraft is mine.
Video game movies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not either. Like, I'd rather play it. Like, it doesn't really appeal to me that much.
And movie video games are even worse.
What? So you don't like Uncharted?
No, he's talking about movie made.
Like movie made into like a movie comes out and they drop a video game about.
Oh, yeah, that's actually really annoying.
There's one that was actually pretty decent. Was the Wanted video?
Oh yeah, they're like one in a million.
Is that pretty cool?
Like
GoldenEye. GoldenEye.
Yeah,
GoldenEye is.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls movie. Elder Scrolls is too like everywhere though. That's why I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Plus, I hate Bethesda. I hope they die in a fucking horrible fire of hell and brimstone. And
hey, they made Brink.
Good for them. I love that game. Why you got to bring that up?
Exactly.
See, LOTR. See, I like LOTR. I like stuff like that when I think of like a video game movie. Because if I play a video game like that, I know. I mean, the book came for LTR, but I think of something like that. That's why I like Warcraft. That's why I like StarCraft. That's why I like things like that. Because I like watching a movie of a game that I played, and it feels like all encompassing. Like I just feel like I'm there. I like that feeling when I watch like a video game movie.
Yeah.
Warhammer movie. See, like that. Actually, that would be pretty cool. A Warhammer movie. That actually, I would watch. Because there's so much story behind that. They can make that like a trilogy.
What about Diablo?
Diablo? See, I would probably watch something like that. Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. I would watch that.
Board game. It was really like intense.
What board game?
Warhammer.
Oh yeah, it's rough. It's really hard.
Is our next talk? Isn't it the one about the new game that just came out? That's kind of.
Oh, the Order 1886.
Speaking of cinematics,
this is hell on earth.
This is a good game to transition to.
Would you like to see an Order 1886 movie? Okay, I'm gonna
give us a brief summary.
I'm gonna spread my beef about 1886 first.
What
of
is
all.
Order 1886 basically? I kind of got.
John, do you know what it's about? You watched more than I did.
Something about Nikola Tesla, like these guys are pretty much working for like a order, obviously, to do certain things, and like all I really remember is like Nikola Tesla like makes weapons for them, makes the weapons for them, and that seemed I don't know why, but it feels gimmicky.
Why is there like werewolves and shit in it?
Is there?
Yeah, there's like zombies and werewolves and some shit in it.
It's so dumb. That actually is frustrating to me.
Yeah, there's like werewolves and like vampires and shit in it.
Fuck that, man. Fuck that. I don't like it. My beef about the game is the fact that it's only for PlayStation. Quit making games like that. It's fucking dumb. Uncharted was like the last one of those I've played. And I really enjoyed Uncharted, actually. That's not a good example.
The last game like that was Little Big Planet 2, and I loved it. I wish it was for PC, but...
Wait, how is that? That doesn't relate.
I thought we were talking about like PS3 exclusives.
Oh!
Yeah,
Okay, I see what you mean.
Well, I mean, don't you think that... Because I remember, like, when they released a new game console, they usually, you know, how Microsoft would have their, you know, conference or whatever at E3.
Mm-hmm.
They'll usually release a title that's only exclusive for Xbox One or Xbox 360, however it is. Same thing with PlayStation, is just to get more people to buy that game system because, oh, there's this big title coming out, but you can only get it at PlayStation. So come buy our console and you can play this sweet-ass game. Maybe sweet-ass game.
I fucking hate that. That shit's so annoying.
Which is, that's the practice that's been done for a while.
Yeah.
And
No matter how annoying it is.
sometimes it will get you a hand, you know, between the console wars. But now, as far as later, like right now, I really don't feel like a game like Order 1886. Is it 1886?
Yeah, Order 1886.
Should be doing that. I mean, why not release it for the whole party? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That game was honestly like, I didn't even know it existed until about a week or two ago.
Really? Oh, I had been
Yeah.
following it for a while. I was actually really hyped about the game originally.
There's a lot of commercials about it.
I was
On
really
TV.
like excited for it. The thing that annoys me is we read an article about this. Our friend sent us an article about it, and one of the key points that it talks about is where's the marketing team for the Order 1886 seems to be relying primarily on the graphics, but nobody really cares about polygon counts anymore. We care about visuals, sure, but we're starting to divorce the technology from the images it creates. People want an impacting story, not the bullshit, not this bullshit. Like, if you're weighing everything on the visuals or the graphics itself, why don't you make a movie? Why the fuck are you making a game? It just seems silly. That
Like Crysis, the last two Crysis, that's how it was. They hyped it. I remember in watching E3, they hyped the shit out of the graphics. They barely, like, the whole fucking game was, they just showed like a bunch of cutscenes the whole time, which is fucking retarded.
it's so stupid.
The game was not good at all. I fucking hated it. Like one of the worst first-person shooter I ever played. Like it was.
I haven't
fucking
even
horrible.
played Fast Pass, the first one. I always wanted to, but I guess I
Yeah, it
don't
was
want to.
I heard the second one's alright, but the last two was fucking horrible. It's just they you know they focused on the graphic mostly because the gameplay was completely shit.
It's
So
just
that
sad.
that you know, for me that proves the point that gameplay is just so much better.
It's just way more important. You have all these indie games that are coming out that do it way better with limited resources, and people are playing them. They love them. They're not like not playing them just because it's an indie game. People love that shit. They don't fuck the graphics. Graphics is important, yeah, sure, but not as important as.
I mean, once in a while
like
you'll
the
have
actual game that you're playing.
once in a while you have a good mixture like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
You know, with visually impacting and actually a fun gameplay throughout the whole series.
Yeah, Grand Theft. Yeah, that's a solid.
They did it
example.
well as far as mixing those two together and really captivating
I
the
agree.
audience. With that, because with graphics you can really captivate the audience. Because right now with so many, you know, with all the game systems and you know how with all the computer games and everything, you know, you could really have a good looking game, but spend a little bit more time on the gameplay, and you have a solid ass game right there.
Well, Grand Theft Auto is a good one to talk about too, because I was actually looking at like the difference in Grand Theft, like how long it took them to make this Grand Theft Auto. It took them. This was the longest they had ever taken on actual Grand Theft Auto game.
Tell.
Like they put effort into it. You could tell here.
Yeah. You think the computer version will definitely be just as good as will be better than like the console?
I would say it's
better.
too.
So like the first Grand Theft Auto came out in 1997. Grand Theft Auto London 1969 came out in 1999. Grand Theft Auto 2 in 1999. Grand Theft Auto 3 2001. So that was only 2 years later to playing one of the best games ever made. Honestly, you got to play Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, kids love that game. Yeah. Then a year later they made Vice City. 2 years after that they made San Andreas. Then they made the little app games and stuff. Then Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, but they were doing all these games. So it was only 2 years later they made Grand Theft Auto 4.
Which still came out really...
Yeah, and then the expansions came out, all these, 2009. It took them 4 years from their last game, Episodes from Liberty City. It was 4 years later that they made Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. They worked.
That's crazy.
They worked hard. Like
They're still working hard. Especially
hell yeah.
Especially with the heist.
Like, why you have very few companies that are putting that much effort into AAA titles nowadays. You have The Witcher 3, which they're putting a lot of effort into. I think Shadows of Mordor was a great game. They seem to put a lot of effort into that. But then you have games like fucking 1886 and stuff that doesn't really seem like they're putting much effort into. Oh yes, the visuals. Yes, everybody likes visuals, right? Gosh, no, people don't. Like people want more. Yeah.
Visuals. Well, Call of Duty will kind of just focus on the online. But that's, to help everybody. I mean, the online gameplay isn't really that great itself, in my opinion. But
yeah. I don't disagree. I don't.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't like Call of Duty after the original one. And Modern Warfare was awesome. Actually, I like Modern Warfare. That was a fun game.
It is a great thing.
The newest one isn't.
Well, it's made by a different company now, too.
The last few years.
It is a great thing to show off. I mean, it's pretty to look at, to see how far technology has come. But, for a game, let's give an example of a game that doesn't have really good graphics. I would say it still did pretty well. Hate to bring it up again, but Legend of Zelda. But,
yeah, I mean, they have like a style to them now.
That's the only thing I can think of because I really want that new game. Yeah, they have their own graphic style, but it's not nothing like, like fucking looking at real life.
Yeah.
What's another one? Fuck. What's one other?
You know what's a good example of like the fact that you don't need like a huge AAA title and like amazing graphics and the game can still be like loved?
What?
Is like a Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that game's been out for an extremely long time.
Like recently,
it was pretty fresh graphics when it first came out. The game's been out for quite a long time.
Yeah.
It just has a really large following. I mean, Team Fortress Classic lasted forever. CS 1.6 is definitely a good example. That game is still played to this day. People still, like, Global Offensive was supposed to take its place, but people still play 1.6. People are going over to CSGO, but 1.6 still thrives. That's a solid one. The graphics look like shit. Like, the game wasn't even that good when it first came out. It was a mod. It originally came out as a mod. It wasn't even a full-fledged game, and it grew. Oh my god. As far as like long-standing games, I would go with CS 1.6 for sure. Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike.
Thank you. I was going to ask you that.
Sorry about
what
that.
The fuck was that?
Gamers know CS 1.6. Well, computer gamers know what
gamers.
1.6 is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you to know.
Come on, dude. Give it the times.
What's wrong with you, JJ?
Shut up.
So I liked what 1886. This article. It was a Forbes article actually. I liked how they talked about the spectrum where most games will fall between nowadays is between Uncharted and Skyrim.
Oh.
That's pretty solid. I hate Skyrim. I fucking despise it. I just hate Bethesda. I don't really hate Skyrim.
Right. But
Skyrim's a good game.
It's just...
But it's just
style of the game.
yeah, it's just interesting that that's where most people are going to fall in between. Because Shadows of Mordor was a good game, but it did kind of feel like other games. I mean, it didn't have everything. Oh, fuck. It didn't have like everything going for it. But
It did throw some new stuff on the
Yeah,
table.
the whole
like
Captain,
Far Cry 3. Like Far Cry 3 was one of those innovative games. I think Shadows of Mordor was an innovative
But
game.
it was still, you hear the term Skyrim
yeah.
for douchebags.
I really
Or
don't
Skyrim
like
with guns. Or Skyrim with I don't know.
Oh, the Far Cry 4 actually is just called achievement hunting or whatever. That's what people call it for that, because it just forces you to do achievements.
Really?
Yeah, that's what Far Cry 4 does. That's not
what
even
we
that
got.
different between Far Cry 3. It's virtually the same game, just with a different character.
And
I feel like the story's gonna end up with a girl wanting to kill you, or you wanting to kill the girl, or some shit at the end. Spoiler! For anyone that has played Far Cry 3, you're a retard if you haven't. I'm not gonna mean that. I hope they edited that out.
Hey,
Hey, what?
I haven't played Far Cry 3.
No, you're a loser. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
You're not a
You're not a real man.
You're not a bro like us. You fucking nerd.
Grow some balls, you fucker.
I'm just kidding, John. Love you. You think we're like running out of unique game styles for games now?
John!
What do you mean?
Both
Yeah.
of you. Do you think
No.
like
No.
just like
wait,
any other
no, it's
originality is really hard to come by these days, especially with all these, all these
No.
ideas being thrown around or recopy and remade and all that stuff, especially for gamers. Like, it's hard to come up with a unique game or a unique style.
I mean, I think
it's hard. I think it's hard for AAA companies to make like something very original compared to like just a couple of guys making this really neat game that's different.
Yeah, I don't think it's lost in originality yet. I mean, look how long it took for movies to really lose their originality. It just started happening within the past, 15 years that 90% of movies are not original. I mean, video games are still in the early stages. Like, video games haven't been around anywhere near as long as movies have. Mm-hmm. And we still have a lot to work with. I mean, recently, there's been recent games that have come out, like Limbo or Bastion or even Bioshock, KOTOR. I mean, those are all fresh games, and those are still pretty recent. They're fresh in our minds, and they're going to be fresh in minds for most people. I think there's still a lot of originality left when it comes to games. I think there's still a lot to work with.
Are we just, like with the big AAA titles, are we just kind of following into the trend of what made people buy the other games, and we're just going to follow it and make a little twist out of it?
They're grasping at straws with AAA games. They're just trying to milk the money. They're just big organizations, big groups that are just trying to milk the money. Where you have smaller developers and stuff for example, Witcher again. People that make Witcher, I don't remember. I probably should say the development company behind
Not much of a smaller developer, but
well, Witcher.
really,
Witcher isn't small, but they're more independent. Like CD Projekt, that's the developer. Or you got people like Gearbox that makes Borderlands and stuff. You have people like that aren't under the big logos of EA and Activision and stuff, but they're still making great games. They're still working on it. They're AAA titles, but they're under the publishers. They're not with those big name publishers. So they haven't lost their souls yet.
Sell your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money out of it, even though you're just being a copycat.
I think there's still a lot of companies out there that are really trying hard.
What indie company do you think they should start making a big title game?
I don't know, man. That one's rough. I don't know. People that made Bastion. Who made Bastion? I mean, they worked hard. Super Giant Games. I wouldn't mind seeing them make a game. I think they would give
a big game.
Yeah, I think they gave you a pretty damn good product. I remember John. You said that they made another game or something.
Yeah, it's called Transistor, and
is it good?
it has a lot of positive rave to it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be cool, but I can't really. Super Giant Games. I kind of want to see if they've made any other games. Maybe they have made a big game already. It says they're an indie developer. Now Transistor. That's the only one I see. I assume that's done well too. So yeah, I don't know.
It is. It's a very beautiful game based on the little that I played of it. I played like half of it when I was in Puerto Rico, and I had like no internet, so I just played that.
Why don't you enjoy the sights?
And it's definitely different. Like the mechanics for it are different. Definitely, just completely fresh idea. That's what I like about it. Like Bastion was the same thing. It kind of runs like Bastion. If you mix Bastion and like MOBA in a sense with how the attacks are.
Is it a multiplayer game?
What you get. No. Just like with how using abilities are.
Oh, okay.
And set up.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Why sitting will kill you and what to do about it. This is for people that work in an office, people that play video games, people that are developer, whatever the hell you are. Like this appeals to those type of people. People that have to sit all day, basically. Could be basically anyone, honestly.
Well, we all three of us sit a good amount on our desk. I would say, for the job I work at, I spend a good amount.
Oh yeah. So this is a really cool article. I mean, it just kind of encourages you to. I can't say be more active because I mean you should be more active if you're sitting at a desk all day, anyways. This is starting to affect me, so I figured, hey, dude, I need to start getting something. There's walking desks where you it's basically like a treadmill underneath you that you basically walk on and stuff. It's really cool. It's really interesting stuff. Or you have like a desk like
the one you're gonna get or not the desk.
It's like a ball. Okay. Yeah, like a ball underneath you. And you just sit on it. It's called active sitting. You have stuff like that you can use, or you have like standing desks. Which standing desks are cool because a lot of those standing desks can convert to a sitting desk too. Like they just lift up and they come up and then they'll come down and they're really interesting. Anyways, I mean it's a really interesting article which we'll probably post, and it just talks about why like sitting is really bad for you. You shouldn't be sitting all the time, and if people that work with computers, which a lot of people do nowadays, they could stand to get something like this and be more active, basically. When they're.
Do you think that's something that might interrupt your work or whatever project you're working on?
No, I actually think it keeps you more motivated. I think it keeps you more in what you're doing.
Awake.
Yeah.
I think it
keeps you more active.
You're not gonna fall asleep standing unless you're absolutely tired out of your mind.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let that. I've done that.
I'm not saying that it's impossible. I've fallen asleep going up the stairs, but I'm just saying that sleeping, like, it just helps you out.
Well,
it definitely does.
So one of the cool things is it shows in the article, when you sit, you burn fewer. You burn far fewer calories than when you do just about anything else but sleep. Even if you stand stock still, standing burns about 50 more calories. That's crazy. Per hour than sitting in front of your computer. If you're walking on a treadmill, you burn even more calories. Given the epidemic of obesity in the United States, the anything but sitting crowd has solid science to start with. I think that's extremely interesting. I think it's extremely important too. Like, you can't be sitting all the time. I know I've been doing it for the past few years, and I can definitely say my health has plummeted, and I need to do something different about it.
Not to try to sound like a douche, but like even for me, for a guy that works out like 6 days a week now, I feel like I gain weight just from my job because I sit and take calls. Well, no, I don't do that anymore. I teach now. I sit and teach, classes for my job, and that's affected me because I usually I just sit there, I listen to calls. Occasionally, and I always get tired because I'm narcoleptic, so I just fall asleep from time to time. So that probably helped me wake up, but as far as like just moving around occasionally, maybe like even if you can't, buy a desk like this or anything like that, maybe just move around, like get up every 10 minutes, take a quick break.
But you have companies that won't let you do that. Like they will just be like, you need to be at this place at this time, you need to work,
and those
I
desks
bet
will
it'd be
definitely
cheaper
help.
for offices too to have like standing desks because they wouldn't have to buy chairs. Maybe
They
you
have
can
to.
tell the employees to bring the chairs if they want to, but
They have to do it though. They have to allow it. That's the problem with America in general is you have a lot of other countries that allow you to take multiple breaks throughout the day because you're more active. You work harder. Well, I mean, I remember reading a study where Americans, most of the time that they spend, aren't even working when they're working at a desk job and stuff. They're looking at their fantasy football teams and stuff. They're not even doing any of that stuff. And if you cut the hours, obviously they'll get paid less, but they would do more work because they would be working less. You're not supposed to be working 8 hours like that unless you're doing a job you really, really enjoy. You're not supposed to be doing anything like that. I remember when I used to work a desk job, I fucking hated it. I mean, it was horrible. Wasn't anything I wanted to do. It was a pain in the ass. It pissed me off. It
drains your fucking energy.
Yeah,
it's soul sucking. And I definitely agree with that. If you like get more breaks out of your job, and I feel like I feel more rejuvenated every time after I moved a little bit and then started picking it back up where I left off. That definitely helps you refresh your mind a little bit. Just to get away from there for a little bit, come back.
You're not supposed to be just sitting all day doing that type of stuff. Yeah, it's annoying to anyone. Honestly, why do you think obesity is so prevalent?
Japan actually has they do the Tai Chi or yoga. I don't know, one of the.
Yoga's good. Yoga's really good for you.
They do meditation
meditation's super good for you. Yeah, it helps you sleep.
They do meditation I think it's either before work, then. I think somewhere around lunch break, they actually take a nap.
That's good. That's what it should be.
And then again, they work like a 10-hour day. So.
Well, you have a lot of European countries. There's a reason why they take siestas, which is like a nap, break, that type of thing. I mean, they take siestas purposely because it helps you be more active. Yeah. You need a nap during the day. Yeah. Allow standing desks. Just allow them. It needs to happen.
Yeah, it should.
Okay.
Get moving, people.
Please,
in America. I don't mean to get Richard Simmons on y'all, but
All right.
Let's get physical.
Our next subject is one that John was interested in and wanted to talk about, so we'll let you start it off, John.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about I know we've been talking about games, but actually we were just talking about jobs, so this is a good transition. And it's how jobs are kind of becoming obsolete in this very technological and our technological society nowadays. What are some jobs that you think would just be gone in the next 2 decades, or just be almost pointless in the next 2 decades? JJ.
Dude, fuck, dude, I don't know. What's something whatever machine can do, Colin, go first. I can't find
it. No, you go first. I don't know. I got one, but
I guess what I'm doing, I work at a call center, so we have
people in India do that.
Yeah,
that's what they're starting to get into.
Well, we have a lot of automated system that does everything now, an online system that does everything that we could do. Just people are too fucking lazy to figure out how to use it, so they call us.
Yeah.
Customer service.
Well, I think telemarketers would still be around for a while because of the fact that people are too lazy to learn how to use the shit and just have to call.
Well, I'm not a telemarketer. I'm a customer service.
That's what I meant. Customer service.
CSR.
CSR. So I feel like that could probably get obsolete because we have so much shit that the machine can do, and you really don't have to talk to us. They would rather talk to us because they feel like they can manipulate a person more than a machine. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna become obsolete pretty soon, as far as my field of work.
Well, yeah, I could see that being true, but I could also see that people just would rather talk to a person about that.
Yeah, I'd rather
Maybe it'll just be outsourced more, but I'd see that job still being around in the next like 20 years.
Apple's already done that. When you call like an Apple store, it's actually automated. It's fully automated. It's actually really interactive, and they're really like precise with it. It's really cool, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff.
Personal assistant, that's another thing too, especially.
I don't think personal assistant's too important.
You really don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
Like with
I
all
don't
the
know.
everything that's out there right now, like
I
apps and
really doubt a personal assistant would go away. Personal assistants are way too important, especially like entertainment industry and stuff like that. You really need them.
Yeah, I guess
You need an actual physical person. Mine was, which I think it's going out. It's actually on the list, but it's one I actually already thought of. Tax, like anyone that does like a tax examiner or tax, somebody that does your taxes. I mean, you have all these softwares nowadays, Quicken Loans, all that stuff that does it way better than they do. It's really much easier. You just buy that software and you're good to go. You don't actually need to go into an office and do that stuff. Plus, you're wasting gas. I know gas might be cheaper now, but still, you're just wasting gas for no reason when you do shit.
And money. You gotta pay to do something.
Yeah.
It's harder for a computer to make a mistake than a human would, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never
Very
done my taxes, so I don't have any idea, but that's what I would think.
But
That's definitely one that I thought. What about you, John? Do you have one that you think that would be out?
one that I thought before I read the article that I'm going to mention soon is telemarketers. Or not telemarketers, travel agents.
Travel
Travel
agents.
agents was
That's a
something
good one. Yeah.
that I always
Really?
thought was like, man, because there's honestly like I see all these travel agent buildings still around here where I live, and I just seem like, what the heck, like, how are they still around? That's crazy.
It does seem kind of weird when you have things like Expedia and Kayak and
That does everything.
Yeah.
Hotwire, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem a little weird, actually. Because I would never use a travel agent personally. I don't see the point.
I wouldn't either, and you gotta pay money for them.
And they don't give you a better deal than what you can get like Expedia and stuff.
No.
I mean, Kayak gives you the best deal. Please sponsor us, Kayak. Kayak gives you the best deal easily. I love Kayak. I live for Kayak. Whenever I travel, I use Kayak all the time. It's the best deal ever. And you have
One
like
thing I was reading about Kayak and what you can do is like you can look at the hotels that have the good deals on Kayak, and you could actually like call the hotels up yourself and see if you could haggle it lower.
oh, that's
than
pretty
that,
cool.
And usually it works.
That's pretty cool. That's good to know. Actually, might do that sometime. Kayak's good. Plus, you have things like Expedia that gives you rewards for things now.
Because
Is a travel agent going to give you a reward? They'll give you like a box of roses or something. Sure. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Great reward. That doesn't help me with my travel plans, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I doubt they'll give you a box of roses. It's just an example. They'll give you something that you don't need.
Well, some other jobs that were on the list that I thought were interesting enough to talk about and something we actually like kind of know about was like mail carriers are here. We're in the article, and about like 28% of like there's only like 28% of mail carriers now than there were like 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
Mail carriers, like the post office man, or is that what you're talking about? Or
Yeah, like
Why do you
mail,
think that-
like delivery men.
why? Everybody still gets mail.
Yeah. Well, I think it's. I
Emails
think the
are
only
more
reason
prevalent.
mail is like still really really big is because of like Amazon. Like Amazon really blew up like the postal service and really gave it a whole new light to work with.
I live for Amazon. I love Amazon.
Exactly.
I get
And when they start
everything.
doing those droid deliveries.
Oh,
good game
that's
mailman.
really cool.
Sorry.
They're going to start doing that with pizza too. They're going to start doing those
What?
droid deliveries. Yeah, they already
That's
started
so
testing
cool.
it. They started
Holy
testing it. I think they
shit.
tested it in Canada or it was up north somewhere. I know that. But they were testing it out and it was actually working.
Oh
It was
my
really cool.
God.
Yeah, droid brings you your pizza.
Holy
It's safer.
shit.
I'm just waiting for that what is it, the rehydrator from Back to the Future 2. I'm just waiting for that.
That would be cool. I like, honestly, I'd rather get it from a droid than a person, because most of them are college age or high school kids. I knew some of them. I had friends that did this, and they would like spin the pizza and stuff. You never know what you might be getting. Like, say you have a bad day and you called in and you ordered your pizza like a douchebag. Yeah, then you get that shit. A droid's not going to do that.
That's right.
And you're going to get your thing, and it's going to look cool when it gets here, and you'll be like, oh my god, it's a robot! Punch it, punch!
Yeah, it probably won't get lost in
and then
direction.
the robot gets stolen. But that's okay.
You got to steal it.
I'm sure it has a tracker.
But delivery men make good money, though.
No, they don't.
Yeah. They don't.
Definitely
They
do.
work for the
No,
government.
they don't.
But it's also super
Delivery
dangerous.
men?
Like one of the most
Oh,
dangerous.
Are you talking
jobs.
about Pizza Hut? Like pizza delivery?
Any delivery.
No, they get paid
honestly.
shit,
fuck
dude.
No.
They get paid shit,
I
dude.
thought you were talking about...
Oh, then it's just Chinese delivery.
UPS
It's really good Chinese place.
UPS workers get paid pretty good.
Well, Chinese delivery, they pay under the table, so... They don't... That's what I heard.
I just...
No
Have
taxes.
you heard?
That's from
Aren't you
what I heard
Chinese?
from my Asian community, but they pay under the table because they don't like doing taxes. and
Do they
shit.
only hire Chinese people?
Yeah, so
A lot of
some
those times, yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Or
Can I be
Mexicans.
Chinese?
What?
They'll hire Hispanics also.
I don't trust places like that. I want somebody yelling at me when I walk into a Chinese restaurant. What you want?
You gotta feel it, man.
Just
Welcome to
like
Shitty Walk.
Yep.
Welcome to Shitty Walk.
Oh,
God.
guys.
You're a horrible person.
What's another one on that list?
I'll take the red. Fuck it.
Another thing that I thought was interesting when I saw was like reporters, and this kind of makes sense because a lot of people talk about
Reporters?
the fact that like all
Reporters.
newspapers would never die, but
Well, newspapers
you don't
are
really
moving
see
into
too many
online.
people from like the generation that we're in and like later generations say like all newspapers are still going to be around forever. It's more like people that are older, and to be honest, I could see newspapers like dying off in the next 30, 40, 50 years. Would you?
I could see that, yeah.
Well, aren't they? Did you just say that they were moving everything online? Because that's what.
They are starting to move online, yeah.
Which is
Yeah, it's
I guess
online.
smarter
That's
move.
like the way to go now.
Like, I like the feeling. I get GQs and wires in the mail. I like the feeling of the magazine, but I also get it online, and I don't much rather read it on my tablet than actually having the magazine. I do just like the feeling of having the magazines, though. That
I could just
has that feeling feels good to me. But that's it. Like, I don't really read them usually. I'd rather go to the online app.
Yeah, it's more convenient having it on
Yeah.
your phone, and I could see like things like newspapers just kind of fizzling out of existence
That's actually
in the
kind of
next half a century.
that's actually kind of an interesting point because I'd rather actually physically read a book than actually reading off a tablet or something because I get too distracted and want to go to somewhere else like Snapchat or Facebook or something.
Yeah,
and read
yeah.
some
Well, I agree with
stupid
that.
ass shit.
I could see a book is different, but this is more about like newspapers and like
Well, it's kind of the
magazines
same
and
idea.
stuff with articles.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you
the
just
same
read
idea.
what is of your interest, and it's kind of easier. Like, what's a good example of like a newspaper or magazine that just kind of like really it spends more time on their online site than the actual physical.
New York
papers?
Times.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
New York
Yeah.
Times is a big
Yeah.
one now. I mean, because everybody
Yeah.
reads the New York Times.
Yeah,
Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal, I think, is another one. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just I could just see things like that, things like newspapers, kind of becoming obsolete.
Yeah.
Now, books, I could see, like, there's a possibility books could go away, but definitely not as soon as newspapers. It'd have to be, like, 100 years, honestly.
Well, I mean, probably. I'm pretty sure next, the generation that's now, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be used to the tablets and everything. It's just something that I grew
Yeah,
up
exactly. It'd have to be the generation that hasn't really, like,
People
not
don't
had
even have home telephones anymore.
tablets.
with. Yeah.
I remember I grew up with a
remember when
little
I had a-
rotary phone. Nobody even really knows what those are
How the
anymore.
fuck did you get a rotary phone?
We were poor, dude. We were really
Holy
poor.
fuck.
We were really
Dude,
poor.
when I got a phone in my room, I freaked out.
Oh, like an actual phone?
I know.
I never got that.
You never got that?
No.
Yeah, my brother and I had that. I had the one where,
Lucky
you know, like
bastards.
in the 70s with the huge long wires, and you gotta like hop over and walk through the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
I got one of those. Oh,
That's pretty funny.
then my mom gets on. Are you on the phone right now?
Get out the phone. I
Yeah,
gotta
we
get
had
on
a
AOL.
rotary phone.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Ah, get on the phone.
So, I mean, I grew up when we didn't have area codes. That's how old I am. We didn't have area codes or anything like that. I don't know how it is in Colorado Springs, but Dallas is actually a pretty big area, and we didn't have area codes or anything. You just dial in.
Either.
You just
I don't
dial
think
in
we
the
did.
I
7
don't believe
numbers.
you.
I'm dead serious. You just dial in the 7 numbers and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You want it. There's no area code.
I didn't know what my area code is till I was like the 7th grade.
I didn't know for a really long
I
time.
saw it on a hat, and I was like, "What's the 719?"
I still remember my phone number that I had back when I was like 4 years old and younger.
It was easier to
Oh.
prank call. Is
That's
that
crazy.
the list on that article? Is it a lot of things? Is a lot of those jobs? Is it
A lot of
replacing? Are the jobs on that list, or is it getting replaced by machine or anything like that?
One of the ones is like farmers.
See, I thought that was
Because farming's a
interesting.
lot more automated now.
Yeah, I thought that
Definitely
was
with,
interesting.
self-watering. You can use GPS to pick up crops better and more efficient than actual people.
Wow, holy shit!
So farming is definitely something that a lot of people won't be doing. It'll need much less people to farm than we do like now, and definitely farming's gone down a lot in the past couple years already. There's gonna be a point in our lives where we're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm farming this," and if someone's like, "What the hell's farming?" Then
Wow.
then you just
We'll
die.
always need farming. That's for damn
no,
sure.
we'll always need it.
But anyway, like a
Scarlet.
own personal home help system that plans your everyday meeting and everything. You check your email. I mean, you kind of already have that with the iOS system. Make pizza delivery if you want to. And all you gotta do is say it.
Yeah, like I haven't called a pizza place in like I feel like 2 years. I just use it the online app.
Yeah, every pizza
Shit.
place should have an online app.
That's why they need to make droids. They need to do that. I want to get my pizza from a droid, not some human fucking being. Fuck
Yeah.
humans.
Fuck these teenagers.
Fuck
They don't
you.
What
need-
about
they don't
like
need no
self-driving
jobs.
cars?
They already make those.
That's like, yeah, I know. Like that's gonna be a huge thing in the next like 15 years.
People and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you think of like one thing you were talking about is like how the jobs are getting replaced with machines, like factory work. I think that's what you were trying to get to. Was like how a lot of like factory things are now just automated, like robot arms that like do a bunch of shit for you.
Yeah, like cars.
Is that what you were trying to go for?
Yeah, that too, I guess. I mean, like a lot of car manufacturers. I guess. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
really.
factories.
You honestly just need one guy to watch all the machines and make sure it works. If it malfunctions, you need to shut it off, and that's probably putting a lot of people out of work, especially in Detroit. Did you guys hear about how NASA has 100 finalists for a one-way trip to Mars?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're in the 100 finalists?
Yeah, they're on the 100 now.
How many people get to go?
I think I don't know, like 4 or 5 or something like that.
So, when is this going to happen, though?
That I have no idea.
I remember hearing
Soon.
about that.
Soon, I know
Is
that.
it soon? Really?
Seems
Go
like
to
it
Mars?
if they got 100 finalists, it's soon. And it's a one-way trip, from what I heard.
One-way trip?
Yeah,
So you're going to colonize Mars?
basically, yeah.
Dude, that's
You're
fucking...
gonna try to. Well, it takes. This is just like a thing that I read, but I remember reading
Oh, shit.
to like repopulate the human race, it would take one dude and like 22 women for there to not be like inbreeding to happen.
Wait, what is it?
One dude and 22 women to like not have inbreeding happen.
Damn, bro. He's gonna put some time in.
Holy shit, lucky guy.
So there has to be at least one guy that goes on the trip. Obviously.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a project to like make the human race exist on Mars. I bet it's more for just
exploration,
figuring out what the hell you're gonna do in Mars, and then those guys are just kind of, die.
I don't know about. I might be wrong about the one.
That's so sad, though. That's sad, dude. Like, that's fucking horrible.
Interstellar inspired a lot of people. Looks like. But I don't know. I think they're just like doing research or something on board. But I guess that's what they're doing.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a while before they go to Mars, though. Like, I feel
like they have the technology now.
Mars. I want to actually Mars trip. It's 2020. That's when it is.
That's when it will happen.
2020 mission plans. More than 100,000 want to go to Mars and not return.
Holy shit! So I was right.
More than 100,000 wants to go to Mars and not return. Project says. 2023 human landing. Yeah, because it's going to take several years to actually get to Mars. Wants to colonize Mars One project wants to colonize the rest project beginning in 2022. There are financial and practical questions about this venture that haven't been clarified. Will there be enough money? Will people really be able to survive on Mars? These haven't stopped some 30,000 Americans from signing up. You can see some of the candidates on the project's website, but they're not the only ones who have applied, said Barsman. There's also a very large number of people who are still working on their profile. I remember hearing about some actor that wants to go or some shit. And he's like wanting to pay like a shit ton of money just to go. I remember hearing about that. That's so crazy, though.
Probably
It's not fucking Tom Cruise.
I gotta find Xenu.
What?
Is that one of the Scientology?
Xenu, you don't know who Xenu is?
No, what's Xenu?
It's from Scientology.
Scientology?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think, is it John?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's their god.
Fucking Tom Cruise. The application process, anyone 18 or older may apply. But the fee depends on the user's nationality. For Americans, it's $38. If you're in Mexico, it's only $15. So you have to pay to apply. I guess that's how they earn money for the Mars project. So that's one way.
$15?
$38.
Oh, that's not bad.
I would. I mean, if I wanted to go to Mars, I would pay that. That seems worth it.
How do they narrow it down? Just depends on your physical, mental condition or something.
I don't know, man.
I would think you can't
They put a bunch of people in that spinning chamber, and whoever pukes last is in.
The company said it sets the price based on the gross domestic product per capita of each nation. We wanted it to be high enough for people to have to really think about it, and low enough for anyone to be able to afford it.
I don't know, $38?
For the first crew,
I feel like
the Mars One mission will cost $6 billion. The idea is for it to be funded by sponsors and media that will pay for broadcasting rights of shows and movies. Training on Earth to the deployment and colonization of Mars. I'm in the wrong area, aren't I? Whoops.
So they are trying to colonize it.
Yeah, they want to colonize Mars. Well, thank you for listening to our wonderful plans of Mars. Go sign up at NASA.
Mars bitches.
NASA.org. You can be one of the 100 finalists. You just don't know yet.
Any of you ladies want to repopulate Mars with me? You're welcome to.
Let's do it together.
Let's do it together. Wink, wink.